Hello and welcome back to the Chocolate Talk. It's your girl Kendall.
This your boy Mr. Chocolate, and together we are the Chocolate Talk.
And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about the whole hashtag Not My Ariel thing.
Yeah, man.
Of Halle Bailey, I'm not sure I pronounce her name.
Yeah,
getting casted as the new Ariel for the live action production of the Disney movie, The Little Mermaid. People are big mad.
Super mad.
There's a whole Facebook group called Make Ariel White Again, and I personally think it's super ridiculous because it doesn't really matter. I mean,
it doesn't.
Yes, it's not that big a deal.
Why can't we be great, bro?
Yeah, why would they not? They have everything else to a certain extent. So I don't know why we can't have this. So what is your take? How do you feel? Do you care one way or another? It
doesn't make sense. Of course, it's not that deep. Every time, supposedly I heard that every time a black male or female actress is the head or main actor of a movie, supposedly they don't want that because it won't look good internationally. And I'm just
I mean, for black people, I was just having a conversation with someone earlier. You know, obviously, when it comes to other cultures dealing with people of color, specifically black people, they are sometimes a little skeptical. But the times are kind of very, back in the day in the 60s, Eartha Kitt got completely banned from America.
I actually heard about that.
Yeah, she got completely banned because, she was anti segregation and all of that. So she would go out and be like, I'm not with being segregated. And the government kind of felt like that was a terroristic threat. So she basically kind of got blackballed and denounced almost her American citizenship. They kind of made her do that because they felt like she was a rebel. She was trying to convince people that what we're doing isn't cool. So she moved to France and Europe and she blew up and she's super big overseas. We hear stories of Eartha Kitt over here, but how they know her, she's queen mother overseas. But it's a lot of artists that from back in the day they did that they was just I think overseas certain countries are a little bit more liberal as opposed to Americans. We kind of want to stick to these traditions, and that's kind of good and it's not.
If I'm not mistaken, I guess there's a similar situation with Halle Bailey too. I think I don't know where she moved to, but
she moved to some part of France.
Yeah.
France is a city. I'm not good geography, sorry, don't beat me up, y'all, don't drag me. But she moved to France. I don't know what part or whatever.
But it was just due to that,
she was kind of tired of the whole. I think she lived in California before for a long time. And as she had her kids and got married a couple times, I think she was just kind of it's a little bit too much, and I don't think. The divorce laws over here are totally different, so I think she had a hard time with the divorce and the whole trying to figure out the custody thing between her and her husband's, and it kind of made her be you know what, I'm just going to kind of chill over here. She didn't completely be I don't want to be American anymore, I denounce my citizenship, but I think she's just kind of over there chilling, living her life. I mean, she's doing great because she doesn't bother anybody, she's still booked and busy, and she's still fine, so.
Basically, I just like I said, it's really just disappointing that, honestly, that girl, I don't know how to say it. I don't know whether it's Halle or Halle. I don't know.
I really think it's Halle Bailey.
I really feel, I honestly feel very, very bad for her just due to the fact that, she don't bother nobody.
She's the sweetest. She's the sweetest, most adorable
sweet. And it's just
lady, I swear.
To literally see the torment that she's going through is very, I feel for her. And of course I'm not her, but it's just that's a sister, you know what I'm saying? That's a fellow sister, and it's just
it shouldn't be that big a deal.
Why, first of all, why is it that big of a deal? It's not that serious. Second of all, it's just bro, what did she do?
She didn't do anything besides they were hey, we want to offer you this job, and they were just ooh, everyone's kind of upset.
On, bro.
But even when it comes to the whole Make Ariel White Again thing, as black people, we separate ourselves amongst color and all these other things. And that dates back 300 years with the whole Willie Lynch speech where he was he gave the speech about how lynching wasn't productive to trying to control slaves.
Wow.
So he went on to say, well, if you try to separate them by age and class and size and color, then they will slowly control themselves and start to tear each other apart.
That's crazy.
So even to a certain extent, and it worked because even to an extent today, we still kind of separate. We'll be oh, you're pretty, but you're pretty for a dark skinned person. Or
what does that even mean?
What does that mean? Even in my life, I've heard that I've gotten compliments from people, and they'll be oh, you're really pretty, and I'll be thank you. And then sometimes from people of my own skin folk, it'll be oh, you're pretty, but you're pretty for a dark skinned girl, and it's just why is it a comment? But if it was someone of a lighter hue than myself, that usually doesn't come with a comment.
Yeah, right.
She's
It'll just be like, oh, she's just pretty.
Because it is.
Beautiful.
You're pretty for a light-skinned girl. Like,
it's very sad.
It's absolutely ignorant that we choose to separate ourselves, yet now it's not as big as a trend, I guess, as it used to be. Now it's just more so like a flat thing.
Right.
But even then it'll be like, oh, you have good hair for this or this. Right. Any hair that grows out of your scalp or anything that you have naturally that God gave you, it's beautiful. It is you. It's nothing nobody can do with that.
People always want to categorize things, and that's just a big thing. It's just like, why does it have to be separated? Why can't we succeed as a people? Why does every time even we can't literally? It's like we can't have nothing, man. We can't catch a break.
We have a really bad crabs in
every time
syndrome.
Literally, bro. Every time we have a big opportunity, it comes with either comparison or there's always like a downside to it. It's just like, dude, why can't we just succeed and literally have our success and be happy? Why did even our people? You know what I'm saying? Every time we always making jokes and all this. Like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with cracking the future, but we take it to a whole nother extent. Yeah. It's just like, yo, this whole debate. Why is there a whole debate about this? Come on, bro.
Because it's a fictional character, and it's just like I'm gonna just speak as African American because I can't speak for no other race, obviously. As an African American girl, my mom, she used to work for like this TV network. It's like it was a public access network kind of sort of, and they would need kids to do the holiday shows for the toys and stuff like that. And I would be sitting there playing with the toys of all races, all the bright style, whatever. I'm sitting there playing with them. But my mom was always very mindful that when it came time for Christmas or my birthday or any type of holiday or things like that, she would specifically buy me black dolls. So dolls that look like me.
Right.
Or like the biracial type dolls or the lighter complected dolls that looked African American to an extent. Because she always wanted to make sure that I knew that my standard of beauty are women and things that look like me.
Look like you, exactly.
So I wouldn't idolize someone like Jennifer Aniston's beautiful, but she's not my standard of beauty because she'll never understand the struggles of being a black woman. Yeah, we share the struggles of being a woman together, but hers are a little different from mine as opposed to my mom. She, in all honesty, my mother is my standard beauty. I hope that one day I can be as beautiful as she is or half the woman that she is, because we have to teach our daughters and our nieces and our granddaughters that the standard of beauty should be things that are attainable. I mean, everything's attainable, sky's the limit, but we have to make them look at the people that they see first. Yeah. So you should be like, oh, wow, my mom is really great at this. I want to be great at that like my mom. You can idolize people that you see on TV, and there's nothing wrong with that, but love whatever you see at home first. Facts. And then build off of that. And make them idolize people who literally, all what's this phrase? All skin folk ain't kinfolk. But still, make them idolize the women and the things that share their complexion and things like that. And that goes for all people of color. Yeah. From Hispanics to Asians to anything, any person of color. Make them idolize the women who share their culture and things like that. I said, as opposed to reaching out to somewhere else. Yeah. There is no magic castle. There's not a prince who's going to come save you from this castle. It does not exist. And I would never raise my daughter to think that her freedom and her happiness lies in the hands of a man. She's just supposed to sit here until somebody comes to save her. Being a princess is one thing. I'm really spoiled, so I was raised as a princess. But I always knew that I was very independent. Even to this day, I'm daddy's little girl, but I still was like, you know what, I'd rather figure it out on my own and know how to get it for myself, because it's just a certain level of pride that you take in something that you do for yourself. Yeah. Especially as a woman, as a black woman, the odds are stacked against you. So go get your education for yourself. Go get that degree for you. Go get that house for you. Get whatever you want for you without having to depend on a man.
Sheesh!
So, that's just my motto for life.
Preach, sister. Golly.
That's my motto.
Man, hey, man, I had to keep quiet. I was like, hey, you got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's just my thing.
Preaching. Nah, for real, honestly, there were so many valid points that you stated that, wow, I don't even know where to really just add on, because I'm like, well, I mean, that is the episode, guys.
Queen of Sheba speech.
For real. I mean, yeah, one point I'd like to add on is the representation of course, our people, our same, yes. There's no, I'd love to really see more presentation of our type of people in higher places. I mean, of course, unfortunately, growing up, we as black people,
media and things
right,
like that,
as black people, as Africans, we haven't necessarily had too many representations of us in success. if we have, there's always been a downside, just like we're seeing now with this whole movie. Like it always comes with a backlash.
Like it's impossible for black people to do something besides like be a maid or a drug dealer or a killer or something like that.
And it's just like even the movies that we have, there's always bad representations. You know what I'm saying? Just like she has just stated. It's never just, you know, success. You know what I'm saying? There's always a downside to it. So it's just like, my whole thing is, we just have to change, man. We literally have to change. There's nothing else besides that, bro. Like, come on. Like, all this colorism, like I said, we already dealing with racism, man. There's bigger issues than, you know.
We don't need to fight each other. Right. We have to fight the fight.
There's way bigger pictures than, oh, you cute for a lot. Like, why does that even matter? If you're beautiful, you're beautiful. Just if you're handsome, you're handsome.
Don't give backhanded compliments.
Right.
It's gross.
How you gonna say I'm attractive, but
it's a
period. There's no but.
It's just
eliminate that. Come on, man.
Just cut that part out.
For real. Like I
would advise every black person, I'm gonna specifically say young people like in our 20s and stuff, our coming of age years as I call it, to watch this series called The Hidden Colors documentaries. I want to say it's like 4 or 5 parts, and you can find it like on Amazon, maybe YouTube. You can find snippets on YouTube, but to watch the whole series, I would say just go ahead and watch the whole thing. It's a series of DVDs. I want to say you can buy it in a pack. I'm not sure, but I would advise everyone to watch that because, you know, being woke is like a thing now. But not to even be trendy, but to just generally kind of open your eyes and show you the real life of the education of our people and the history of our people from just an honest standpoint of people who look like us and go through the same things that we do on a daily basis. I would advise every black person, but specifically younger black people, to watch those series. So, Hidden Color series. If y'all watching this, we're gonna tag them in the bottom to see if they'll like send us some or tell us where to find it or whatever. Because it's super dope. Like I said, it's on Amazon. Y'all should definitely go find it, and it's just really dope. And it'll it'll tie together from a more technical standpoint everything that we're saying, as opposed to just kind of being based on facts, but more so like people who actually genuinely studied it kind of thing. So it's really dope. I think everybody should watch it.
That's huge. I mean, definitely stuff like that is very
It's
useful.
enlightening. It changed my whole mind.
Very enlightening. It's to the point to where, like I said, we have to really just eliminate the whole colorism thing. It's not like it's lame. There's no need for it. Like I said, we're all the same color. Of course, there's different shades of us, obviously, clearly, but at the same time, we got to eliminate that for real. But like I said, that's all we have for today. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to episode 5. If y'all have not tuned into episode 4 or previous episodes, please do that. Comment, like, interact with us. Let us know how you feeling. Give us suggestions, all that. We appreciate y'all. We love you guys, and we are the Chocolate Talk.
Thank you.
Peace out.